Hey, here on Facebook as well as YouTube. Southern Wisconsin, it is hot today, 90 degrees. I have to say, I am not built for 90 degrees. I'm more of a 75-degree day kind of guy. But got the dogs out early, worked with them. Got a bunch of dogs in that are new, 10 of them to be exact. And now it is time to get them going on their obedience and get them, I guess, used to structure would be the best way to explain it. The first couple of weeks, it's just working with the dogs, getting them used to structure, getting them used to working and working under, I guess, more stringent demands than they would get with their owners. Even my own dogs are spoiled, so I cannot say that I don't do it to my dogs as well. But you get where people have them where they're just completely spoiled. Hopefully, we have baseball. I got my Brewers shirt on. Go Brewers. Hoping they get a season for the year. Would be a nice thing to have a little baseball to watch. So, again, as we do Dog Talk Lives, we're going to be on here for probably 15 to 30 minutes. We ask that you let us know where you're from, and please bring questions. These are only as good as the questions that we get. So it is great if we can get some info. We've got Ohio checking in, we've got South Dakota checking in, we've got Wisconsin checking in, New Hampshire, 65 degrees in New Hampshire. Oh my goodness, you got some hot weather coming, because I'm assuming that you are going to get the weather that we have right now. It is 90 degrees with a lot of humidity. They had said our weather was going to break and was going to go back down to the 70s. And like anything with the weather, they're now saying it's going to be about 90 all week. Awesome. So that is going to make me have to get up earlier to work with the dogs. Always keep in mind during the heat, it is something that is very hard on the dogs. They have a fur coat. They do not sweat. They pant to get rid of their heat. So you need to work with them early on hot days. Even if you're doing water work, don't overwork them, because they can overheat when they're working in water, because the surface temperature of a pond or lake or stream can get, actually probably not a stream, but a pond or lake or body of water can get very warm comparatively because it's not circulating. That's why when you jump in a lake, if you dive down, you go down about 4 or 5 feet, you can feel colder water. Same thing happens. So when you get these days where it's 90 degrees, that top 12 to 24 inches could be 85 degrees, which will allow the dog to actually overheat even when they're in water. Come on. Let's see here what kind of questions we have. We have New Zealand checking in, Michigan, 86 with humidity. Yeah, that's you're hitting the same weather we are, sir. Montreal checking in. Good to see Canada on. New Jersey. Yes, you had it last week, and we're supposed to have it all week. We got south of Sweden. Welcome to Dog Talk Live. Always kind of cool. You see the different places that we get people from. It's interesting with this thing called the internet, where we get to see people from so many different places. And let's see here. Andrea, I have a 7-month-old lab that is itching a lot. She started getting raw under her armpits and hips. Feeding Diamond. Do you think this could be food, spring allergies? Looking for ideas. So the first thing I would tell you, Andrea, is have you changed your what you're cleaning your house with? It could be a household cleaner. I've seen where household cleaners can give dogs allergic reactions. After that, have you sprayed your yard with anything to treat weeds? I would look at that. Have you sprayed your house with anything to treat insects? Then I would start looking at seasonal allergies and possibly food. Dogs can, as they get older, become allergic to food. Hard thing is, if they are itching and scratching and licking a lot, you will have an area of skin that is damaged and will never heal. So you want that to heal. You should put a cone on the dog so they cannot get to it and injure the area. Hold on, everyone. Scarlett has the moose. The moose is still alive. For everyone that follows the Dog Talk Lives, he's new here at the house from the bargain bin, so he's still alive. But start with your different things that you can control. you have control of, and then work out from there. There are many different things you can do for dogs. You can give them human antihistamines. You can talk. I would definitely talk to your vet though before you do that. I give some of our dogs Benadryl. I think there's Apoquil is a different one, and there's a lot of different options. But I would start with a list of anything that has changed in your house or yard, and then move from there. All right, Pocono Mountains in Pennsylvania checking in. Good to see you. What tick control am I using? Ben, I am using Simparica. They have one pill that is for, flea and tick as well as Heartgard. So it's one pill in all, which is pretty cool. All right, our 10-week-old puppy is very timid. Take a walk, almost has to be pulled along. Any recommendations? That is from YouTube. When puppies are little, especially that little, sometimes they don't always go walk, so don't worry about taking them per se for a walk. You want them to have fun. You don't want to drag the puppy. Start with short walks. It could even be down the driveway and back. Let them have a lot of fun. Good dog, good dog. Give them a lot of positive reinforcement, and then move from there. Before you know it, you'll have a sled dog where now you're trying to keep them under control so they can walk at heel. All right, Jerry from Milwaukee. Do you know any flooded timber on public land? Jerry, if you check over Mississippi River area, Wisconsin River area, depending on water levels, I know the last few years, I know guys have been hunting timber over there. Otherwise, not very common in Wisconsin. We've got some here. But honestly, the type of timber, the birds don't eat anything that it's dropping. I think they need something different than what our trees are offering. So the timber doesn't hold any birds here on my property. All right. Hello from North Central Iowa. Hello, Bethany. Billy Pearson's joined. Again, please let me know what questions you have. Love to help you. Love to get you involved more with dogs. My name's Jeff Fuller. I have Soggy Acres Retrievers. As far as myself, usually take anywhere from 6 to 10 dogs in at a time for training for gun dog. We do 2 groups. Obedience dogs we do a lot of, and then puppies we do anywhere from 12 to 15 litters a year. This is what I do for a living, which is a lot less now that we're not doing the TV show. Gives me a little more time to focus on home life and my own dogs. Let's see, Tyler has joined. Hello, Tyler. Again, as you guys pop in, please let us know where you're from. Please let us know what questions you have. I'm not great at teaching or at answering questions on pointing dogs, but retrievers or obedience I can help you out with. As far as hunting, we are T-minus less than 3 months to our teal season and early goose season opening. I cannot wait. Between that and hopefully baseball starting, come on, go Brewers, and then football, it's going to be nice to have things to focus on other than all of the issues that we have at hand. Let's see here. Rocky Neely, how are you doing today? Again, as you guys check in, let us know where you're from. Please let me know what questions you have. If you're watching this after the fact, you can always type a question in as a comment. I always come back and check once or twice. You can always email me as well, sportingdogtv@gmail.com. Sending a message to the page is not as good because actually I don't open messages until I'm going to post pictures. So there are a lot of messages that never get opened until we're at the point where those pictures come up because we post everyone's photos. With that said, if you want, send us photos of your dog. Just our email, not our email, but a message to the Sporting Dog Adventures page. Attach it, send it. We love posting our fan photos. Mark, Kentucky HRC hunt test, blind retrieve, doesn't want to go to use his nose. Hunting wild pheasants, his nose is very important on blind retrieve. How do you work in improving his nose? Mark, I would work on, I guess it's hard to answer that one because the dog's not in front of me. But if you have in your working blinds, run them to one side so that they're going to get a good snoot full of it so that they do. When they get about to where the blind is, I would sit them and just have them sit there for a second. You'll actually see him start to use his nose. Many times dogs will only do sight things just because of experience. So I would just get him more experience finding on blind retrieves. It's hard to say how much in the dog's mind it thinks it needs to be obedient and just only go where you say. So I would start with not worrying as much about the blind, but worry more about the scent area. And then you can also use marks and everything else because the dog is going to have to use his nose for that. North Carolina is checking in. Bethany. I have a red Texas healer. She's had an issue with sneezing and was wondering what allergy treatments I could use besides Benadryl. Talk to your vet. The other day I saw a commercial for Apoquel. I know we've got one of our dogs on Apoquel. Actually, it's a Chihuahua, so I don't know if that's kind of a ground squirrel. But Apoquel is a new one that they're advertising. Also, if the dog is sneezing a lot, make sure it doesn't have anything in its nose. I had a dog once that took her on a hunt, and she actually got a grass spear into her nose, and we had to pull it out. So that could be something to look at too. Again, as you guys check in, please let me know where you're from. Please let me know what questions you have. It's always fun talking to everybody. So far, we've got Sweden, we've got New Zealand, we've got Canada, we've got the U.S. Always fun to get people here, get them on, and shoot the breeze with them. I am working with one dog that, while running pile drills, will work back to the 50-yard line, then will refuse to leave that line. Oh boy, Ben, I had a dog once that I used a lot on upland, and that dog would not go past 40 yards. It was like he hit a brick wall as far as what he would see. His problem was I had over obedienced him, taking him out guiding with him for upland. The way we fixed that was we put a white bucket at the pile, and or at the mark, and we'd work them on that. If you've got a dog that's basically stopping at the pitcher's mound, which is what it sounds like, it's probably stopping him too much, so that you have him where he is stopping because he thinks he's going to get corrected. So what you could do is start working with a pile at a different area so that the dog doesn't see that one area, and change things up. You could even reverse and work from the other end. But I would run the dog through the pile and not stop him at all for a while until you get that fixed, until you get good momentum. Because it sounds like he's either just flat out refusing or popping on you. So I would try a different area with the same drill, but I would just run him through to the pile, and I would start the pile. If you're at the 50-yard line, I'd put it at the other 40, and I would work my way back. I wouldn't just do it all or nothing. All right, Galveston, Texas. Yeah, like a wall. Yeah, that's what my one dog did. It was crazy. I thought we'd never get him fixed. At what age do you recommend taking a dog pheasant hunting for the first time? John, it's not about the age. It's about, has the dog had training? You want to make sure that a dog has gone through 3 months of training, which is what is going to be to a gun dog level, so that the dog is under control. That will stop you from having a bunch of issues and a bunch of problems. You have them introduced to gunfire and all sorts of different things. Now you've got a good recall in your dog, so it's not necessarily its age per se. It's the level you're at in your training. So I always tell people a dog should not be taken hunting unless they are trained, because otherwise you're creating a bunch of bad habits and could sour the dog if you have certain things happen where they'll never hunt. All right, RJ, hello from North California. I generally hunt out of a blind in rice checks and have my pup next to me and his blind in place. Recently hunted with a friend whose dog was at his place 25 yards away. What's your take on that? I don't do place training with my dogs, RJ, but I know a lot of people do. It's not uncommon. I don't like to have my dogs that far away just because I want them by me, one, so I can enjoy them and watch them, and two, so that I have more control of the situation, so that I know that they're under control. I do occasionally hunt with them out of a dog blind in our marsh where they're not in the in the actual blind with us, so they're maybe 5 feet away, but I like to have them closer. All right, thank you. Definitely check in with my vet. It's been an ongoing issue for a while. Benadryl just doesn't seem to be working. She's only 1 year and 3 months. Yeah, it sucks when they get allergies, Bethany. I talked to your vet. There are some options. I actually heard that the Apoquel the other day, and I was like, wow, I got to try that. So we had a dog that was scratching a lot, or a ground squirrel, as I said. All right. So we are pretty much getting near the end of our questions. Let's see. I hope everyone's doing good. We got Brad checking in from Saskatchewan. We got someone stating they need help and they are facing depression. Okay. If you are, please call someone. There are many hotlines out there, and there are many text and tip lines that you can go to for mental health. I don't have any offhand right now, but if you want to email me, sportingdogtv@gmail.com, I'm more than happy to send you a link to a place that you can call. Again, Jeff Fuller, Sage Acres Retrievers. We do this, I try to do this every day, hoping that we can do it again tomorrow. My goal is at least 3 times a week because we're really getting busy now. But I promise that we will try to get on here as much as we can for everybody. We do appreciate you guys stopping in. I hope everyone has a wonderful day. Please stay safe. God bless.